So I have a message for Dave Chapelle. It's getting a little bit tiring now having to address these anti-Semitic comments that are happening more and more frequently by celebrities who have large platforms, are respected, and are not only in the category of crazy people that no one listens to, because the more celebrities with large followings normalize anti-Semitism, the more anti-Semitism becomes normal. The first point I want to make to Dave Chapelle is when you say that you can't say two words together, the Jews, the truth is that you can't say the with a lot of other groups. You can't say the blacks, the gays, the trans. Saying any of those things would get you in trouble because it's a rude way to talk about a minority group. The next thing you say is that you only get in trouble if you make anti-Semitic comments. But Don Imus, Roseanne Barr, Donald Sterling are just a few examples of people who made racist comments against black people, and their careers were ended for those comments. Now, do you agree with education or cancellation? I'm not here to decide that, but to say that this only happens when someone says something against Jews is not true, and you're spreading false information about our community. You notice that there's a lot of Jews in Hollywood, and you're right. There are a lot of Jews in Hollywood. There's also a lot of Jews in banking. In both of these cases, we got to these places because of anti-Semitism. In terms of Hollywood, we weren't allowed into the more prestigious fields like publishing, and so Hollywood was considered a lower place to be. In terms of banking, it was considered prohibited for Christians to charge interest, and so Jews were assigned this task, and we were relegated to these fields due to Jew hatred. Jews in general are in positions of spotlight in many cases. I made another video about that recently. Why are so many Jews in the spotlight? You can check that out. If you say, look around, there's a lot of Jews, there seems to be a cabal. They seem to be running the place. When you say things like this, or you give cover to the movie that Kyrie Irving shared, which talks about Jews stealing black identities and black people being the real Jews, which talks about Jews having a disproportionate role in the slave trade, which they did not. When you normalize these ideas, you put Jewish lives in danger. You say very falsely, as if it's a concern, that no black people are involved in the Holocaust. No Jew is concerned about black people being in the Holocaust. What we are concerned about are casual attacks happening every single day in the New York area and other major cities. Attacks on visible Jews, Hasidic Jews, Jews that wear their Judaism publicly. These are real concerns that are as little as petty assaults to murder. Jews being gunned down in a kosher store in Jersey City a few years ago, as well as a machete attack in Muncie a few months after that. And so when you normalize this type of hate, when you normalize these conspiracy theories, when you blame Jews for being too powerful, you are putting us in danger. Our communities have had such a beautiful relationship throughout the generations. We have marched together. We have fought together for equality. We have so much shared experience with histories of slavery, with intergenerational trauma. We should lift each other up. There is a time for humor, and hey, Jews do love to laugh, but we're not finding this funny, because what you may not realize is that we don't feel safe, and we don't feel secure, and we don't feel like there is any place that is truly home to the Jewish people, except for our land that we're not even allowed to talk about. And so when you normalize anti-Semitism, it's not a joke, and you need to stop.